the cell phone camera footage that began viral circulation over the weekend does not comprehensively capture the circumstances surrounding this incident, and that is to be expected. Part of that stems from the distance and perspective of the recording cell phone camera. Another part of it stems from the fact that the cell phone camera did not capture the events that preceded Officer Bowers' decision to arrest McNeil.
Welcome back. Now, that is Jacksonville County, Florida Sheriff T.K. Waters. This is on Monday, addressing a video that just went viral over the weekend. And it is of a violent traffic stop in February that was recorded by the individual behind the wheel, a guy by the name of William McNeil Jr., 22 years old. He gets pulled over for not using his headlights in the rain. And this is what happens.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle! Show me your hands.
Here.
1033 at 15 an hour.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now.
All right. No, don't.
Stop fighting!
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back!
I'm resisting.
Hands behind your back!
All right, so obviously that went viral. Why? Because of the video. It is it's tough to watch. Now, the sheriff's department is backing the officers, and they say that body camera footage showing more of the interaction between the officers and McNeil was part of the reason why, and they released more of it during Monday's press conference.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely there's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement?
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor.
I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle. Right now, you're under arrest for resisting. Open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window. Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window.
All right, good point.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle!
No.
Put your hands behind your back! Hands behind your back!
So the Jacksonville County Sheriff in that press conference said that the state's attorney's office has determined that none of the involved officers violated criminal law, but that one of the officers, Bauer, has been stripped of his law enforcement authorities because of this, while an internal investigation continues. Let's talk about it with the think tank here. John Pryor still with us. He is next to me here in Idaho. Matthew Mangino and David Schnipper is also with us. He's in Atlanta. To you, what do you take from this? Law enforcement came out pretty strong in support of these officers, and they showed the entire video, basically making the case that this guy was non-compliant, and that's how this escalated. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, first, when a police officer tells you you need to do something, you need to do it. And this, Mr. McNeil clearly didn't follow the officer's instructions. But at the point where they smash the window and the officer takes it upon himself to strike Mr. McNeil, with, at least from my perspective, it doesn't look like Mr. McNeil did anything other than he was resistant and obstructing. And then Mr. McNeil gets dragged out of the car, and he gets roughed up by several of these officers. So the police officer's assessment that none of the officers have any liability or concern, well, I disagree with that. They don't get to strike him. They don't, if there's a indication there's a weapon or something else, but clearly the police escalated this thing beyond what it should have been escalated into.
David, the blow to the face is just jarring when you're watching this video. First the window breaks, that's one thing, but then boom. Your impression of all of this and the stance that they're taking there in Jacksonville.
Well, I have to say that Jacksonville is my hometown. Go Jags. Duval County, not the best look for us. It doesn't define who we are, Go Jags again. Look, I think the main thing that you have to understand is law enforcement officers need to make sure they're safe. When he did slam the door, could he have had a weapon on him? I did read that there was a knife on the floor. I don't think that they, especially after the fact, there was no reason to hit him. And once they got him out of the vehicle, I think that that's where it was really egregious, just unacceptable. But, as my colleague said, when you don't have to agree with officers. I think the stop of just looking there, the lights on, I think that is ridiculous. But you have to follow what they say. Just follow what they say, and then you deal with it after the fact. He kind of put himself in a bad predicament. Now, the interesting thing is he waits 5+ months to put this on social media. He hires Ben Crump, who's a famed civil rights attorney. I think there is some strategy there. Ben Crump certainly knows what he's doing, to represent his clients for money damages. So I think that that's a play there. The sheriff, I think, said the right things. That the state attorney's office in Duval County said that there was no criminal charges being against the officers. But I think we have to wait and see the entirety of this investigation. But look, the officers could have handled this a lot better. This is unacceptable what they're doing to this young man. Once they got him out of the car, there was no need to do this. But when he shuts that door and that window's tinted, they don't know if he's got a weapon or not. And so in that aspect, I think they acted somewhat reasonable. They have to protect themselves.
Matthew, everybody has a camera. And, maybe there is a sense of, maybe not in this case, but there are cases of people out baiting other humans, and a lot of times police, because they know they're rolling on it. But is it up to officers to be trained to be able to deal with it and not lose their cool? Because at some point it does go from, it seems, it escalates to anger on behalf of the officers there.
Well, Ted, I have a bit of a different perspective on this. The first time I saw this tape, the first thing I thought of is this is a pretextual stop. How many people are being stopped in Jacksonville for not wearing a seatbelt and not having their headlights on when it's raining? This was I think, a fishing expedition. This is a young black man in a car by himself, and you are looking for a reason to stop his vehicle. And that's how this whole thing escalated to the point that it did. I think that, the young man probably should have...
You didn't have your headlights on during a rainstorm. Seems like a little much. Thanks to the think tank, John Pryor.